Well, joining me now to discuss the investigation into Alex Pretti's killing is Hamilton Odunze, international affairs analyst, joins me from Boston, Massachusetts. We're going to be very conscious of time here, Hamilton. So quickly now, how do you assess the proportionality of force used by the federal agents in this incident? I'm sure you've seen videos, considering Pretti was holding a cell phone and not actively threatening anyone.
Yes, Olije, thank you for having me. It is, most people consider it excessive force, and let's understand what excessive force means in these circumstances. It is the use of physical power by law enforcement that exceeds what is objectively reasonable and necessary to control a situation, make an arrest, or protect officers. Investigations into the killing of Alex Pretti is ongoing. Still, initial video evidence has led to experts and local officials to allege that the federal agents used excessive force on January 24th when they shot and killed Pretti. Video footage shows that agents fired, a total of 10 rounds at Pretti in under 5 seconds. That to most people is excessive force.
And now, given the Trump administration's previous statements on the incident, can we expect a truly impartial investigation from the DOJ, or will it be perceived as a whitewash this time?
Yeah, investigative integrity into the Alex Pretti case is heavily questioned due to the contradictions, as you just mentioned, Olije. The federal narrative of what happened is very different from evidence and eyewitness accounts. Videos and witnesses show he was holding a phone and was disarmed just before he was shot and killed. The DOJ is investigating separately from the Department of DHS internal probe. Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller, two Trump officials, in their own words, labeled Pretti as an assassin. Because he had a weapon he is allowed by law to carry, but he never brought out the gun. President Trump initially highlighted the power of Pretti's weapon on Truth Social, but later called for an honorable and honest investigation. But as you said, given the official's narrative, we all hope the investigation is fair and just.
Now, quickly, should federal immigration agents, now this is very sensitive, should federal immigration agents, be involved in domestic law enforcement, especially in situations where they may not be familiar with local dynamics and protocols?
Correct. Whether ICE agents should be involved in general law enforcement, it's a deeply divisive topic, Olije. Some people on one side say that their involvement in local, state, and federal actions improves public safety by apprehending criminal aliens. On the other hand, some people say that their involvement undermines community trust, deters immigrants from reporting crimes for fear of being arrested, and it also merges administrative immigration enforcement with criminal policing, leading to civil rights violations. But the consensus is that ICE is overstepping boundaries, and as a result, calls to defund ICE is growing.
And now quickly also, do current federal policies on use of force adequately protect citizens or civilians, and what changes might be necessary to prevent similar incidents? Plus, how might the media's portrayal of Pretti's actions influence public perception of the incident, and what implications does this have for accountability?
Right. The media influence in the case has already become a central battleground, with digital evidence and institutional narratives clashing to shape public perception and legal scrutiny. The Washington Post, for example, said that the constant looping of the killing on social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram may have a distorting effect and could potentially lead to public desensitization or conversely sustain civil unrest. The protests that we've seen in the United States have led to more investigations and a shift in the authorities' narratives of what happened with Alex Pretti.
Now, what steps can be taken, Odunze, to rebuild trust between federal law enforcement agencies and local communities, particularly in areas with significant immigrant populations, plus states that are democratic states?
Well, the steps can be taken, Olije, is just making sure that the ICE agents do not continue to operate and harass people, for example, in schools, in churches, and in public places, at workplaces. Those are the things that needs to be, that needs to happen for them to regain trust of the public, especially the immigrant population in the United States. Everybody is scared. People are scared to go out. People are scared to go to even churches. People are scared to go to public places. So to rebuild this trust that that we need, ICE and the federal government, they need to go back and stop harassing people in public places.
Now, finally, what mechanisms, Odunze, are in place to hold federal agents accountable for misconduct, and how effective are these mechanisms in ensuring justice for victims like Alex Pretti, Ring Good, and what those governors talking about Tim Walz, what can they do to ensure that citizens are protected? Just quickly.
Well, so far, Olije, the accountability mechanism include the Department of Justice, a civil rights inquiry, an internal review by the Customs and Border Protection, the CPB, Office of Professional Responsibility, and a court-ordered investigation by the Minnesota state officials to secure evidence. The Minnesota officials they've already secured a court order to preserve evidence, participate in the investigation, and counter, potential federal destruction of evidence. There is also legislative pressure. House Democrats and some Republicans are demanding accountability and investigating potential abuse by the Department of Homeland Security. Olije.
Right. Thank you so much, Hamilton, for making our time to join us on The World today. Really appreciate you. He joined us from Boston, Massachusetts, on The World.